My go-to gas station snack is a Monster Energy drink and a pack of Marlboros. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, please be true.
I'm Michael Easter. I'm the author of The Comfort Crisis. I'm a professor at UNLV. I am here at Huckberry HQ today, and this is my rundown. So the hardest thing I've ever done is when I was reporting my book, The Comfort Crisis. It talks about this hunt I did in the Alaskan backcountry, and we were up there for more than a month, and I ended up hunting a caribou. So we have to pack this thing out more than 5 miles across the tundra. Now, one thing that you need to understand about the tundra is it is literally like God decided, I am going to make the worst thing possible to walk on. So you sink with every step. There's all these like tufts of grass. I would say probably at about mile 1 is when I wanted to die. No one is going to come and help you. I have to keep going back to camp, or else I'm going to be exposed to the elements literally all night. I sucked it up and I made it, and I had a freezer full of caribou after that. The most influential book on my life is I was 13 years old and my mom had bought Into Thin Air. If you're not familiar with it, it is by a journalist named Jon Krakauer, and he was climbing Everest, and there was this crazy disaster on Everest. And so for me, I had this moment where it was like, this guy goes and does this crazy adventure with people, and he writes about it. And that's what this guy does for a living. And the way he wrote about it was also fascinating because he really dove into a lot of the characters. He talked a lot about like the science of the mountain and what it was like to climb. And it was just one of those things where when I read that, it was like, that is what I want to do with my life. My number one daily habit, the most critical for me, is that I have to write every single morning. 365 days a year, I will take time in the morning to at least write something. So for example, right now I'm traveling, I'm in Austin, but still I was up early. I was able to get 45 minutes in this morning. So I want at least some stretch. I think if you want to get really good at anything, you have to do it like every single day. For inspiration, I have this line I always keep in the back of my mind, and it is no problem, no story. So anywhere I can go that is going to sort of present hassles along the way, be it all the way down in the Bolivian jungle or even just reporting in Las Vegas on something, if things go perfectly, I'm not gonna get a story out of it. If things go a little off the rails, that is a story. Most meaningful feedback I have gotten from the Comfort Crisis, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback, but two that come to mind is I had a person reach out to me. This was a kid, he was 20-something years old. His mom was in her 50s. She had been bedridden for apparently a decade and had been given all this bad medical advice along the way. And she read the book and she literally got out of bed and started rucking, started doing hard things, and she's now rucking every single day. Look, here's the deal, is people fly into Vegas, they go to the Strip, they get drunk for 3 days, and then they fly home and they say Vegas sucks. Leave the Strip. So Alex Honnold lives in Vegas, and he recently said that Las Vegas is the best adventure town in the country, and I have to agree with him. It is surrounded by amazing desert, there's tons of canyons, you can do anything, and of course, if you want to spend a day drunk on the Strip, please do that as well. That's what the town is built on, is people who gamble irresponsibly, so come do that as well. So for my job, I've actually found that procrastination is good because sometimes I'm grappling with an idea and I don't quite have it, and I need time when I'm not thinking about it for it to sort of, I don't know, settle. And then it'll often arise, and then I can sit down and just crank through the work. So if that's you, like, procrastination can be a good thing. Now, if that is not you, my advice is to set a timer, say for 20 minutes, and try to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish or get as much of it done as you can in that 20 minutes, and then give yourself a reward afterwards for working diligently through that 20 minutes. So all animals, including humans, we learn and are incentivized based on having a reward at the end of doing something. So that's like a very basic B.F. Skinner psychological hack that you can use to get things done better. So my next misogi, now first of all, rule number 1 of misogi is make it really hard. Rule number 2 is don't die, but then there are also guidelines. One of the guidelines is that you don't really advertise it and brag about it. So I'm not going to give you the details of it, but I will say that it is going to involve something in the water. The piece of gear that holds the most sentimental value to me is probably my GR1, to be honest, my GoRuck GR1. And that is simply because I've had it for like 10 years. I've become good friends with Jason at GoRuck over the time. And I've put that thing through hell. I mean, it has been everywhere with me. It's been used, abused, I beat the living hell out of it. And somehow it still looks pretty good. And I also included GoRuck in my book. And after that community read the book, I mean, it really got a lot of people rucking. So it kind of has this now emotional connection where I was like, oh, I think a lot of people took up this really rad thing to do that's going to improve their life, that's going to improve their health. And so I've got like a little bit of an emotional bond with that piece of gear for sure. So the last time I cried, now my wife and I have lengthy discussions and she gives me a lot of shit about this. I mean, she is like tough as nails. I don't think I've ever seen her cry. Me, we'll be out taking a walk and I'll see like fog hitting a tree in such a way that the light bends and I just bawl. Like it's just, I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, nature. That's the type of person I am and I don't even mind telling you that. My most unpopular opinion is that ice baths are stupid. I don't understand how getting really, really cold for 5 minutes is 6 hours later is gonna somehow make you a better runner or lifter or like change your mind in some really profound way. I just think it's a little bit silly. And also like who wants to buy all this ice? It's like I gotta buy an ice maker, I gotta buy a tub for the ice thing. Like give me a break. Corn nuts, a Abba Zaba, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. My favorite podcast I'm listening to right now is called Conversations with Tyler. Instagram. Deleted immediately. If I could. I can't. Desert Island meal, a big bowl of Reese's Puffs. The Chugach Mountains in Alaska. Write in the Rain notebook and a Fisher Space Pen.
All right, last segment that we have for you.
We just put $500 in your account. You've got to spend it in the next 90 seconds. This is actually a real thing. We actually did do this.
Okay.
You've got to spend it in the next 90 seconds. And go.
Okay, so typically I'd go to GoRuck immediately, but the thing is that they have taken all my money and I have everything of theirs, so I'm going straight to boots because I need some more boots, but more like desert-focused boots. I think they're called the Arum. I will find out in a second here. I want those. They're beautiful, amazing for where I live. Okay, now I am going to go to everyday carry. Pens. I go through pens like crazy. Ooh, this is a magnetic pen. It's a HMM magnetic pen. That's $35. That is in the cart. That's a beautiful looking pen. Unique as well. All right, now I'm going to gear. Oh, bam. Here we go. Okay, Uncharted Supply Company, the Park Pack in black. Is a trail running hip pack, I guess, which is a sort of euphemism for fanny pack. But it's 2.8 liters. That can probably keep an iPhone, which helps you not die in case you break something and you need to call the authorities, call a helicopter, get carted out of there. Has 2 water bottle holsters. That's nice. Kitchen. There's some compelling things. Ooh, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I just saw a kettle. I'm just gonna type kettle. We're going pour over stag kettle. That's a nice looking kettle. So here's the thing about Huckberry. It's gonna work, but it's also gonna look cool as you make it work. That's important. Okay, I think I'm close enough. Yeah, I'm close enough. Total is 573, so if you round that down, it's 500. So on my 90-second shopping binge, crazed lunatic, clicking, carting things like mad, I ended up with the Arum Desert Boot, the HMM Magnetic Pen, Park Pack from Uncharted Supply Company, and the Pour Over Kettle from Stag, which is going to look awesome, and it's going to make a hell of a cup of tea or pour over coffee. I have to FaceTime with a OnlyFans.
No.
Time to buy the $300 Jerry Garcia portrait.
Is there anything that we haven't covered today?
Yeah. Oh, this is over. This has been my rundown. I'm Michael Easter, signing off. See you out there.